Well, hello. I am now wearing a mashup of two dresses. I've had this dress ages. I made it as one thing, it didn't quite work out, so I altered it to another using two different patterns. There's lots of talk about it on my channel going in the past, and I did also make these from the scraps to match my dress, and that's enough about that really. So I am here for a very special purpose, which is why I put on my special dress. Now I'll come to what the reason is for me wearing it. So I launched, in inverted commas, in very big inverted commas, I launched my own subscription box. And this is meant to be a monthly subscription box, and it is only for me, and it is put together by me, and it is the Seaside Susan subscription box. So on the first of the month, I put in a box, in this lovely box that I announced on my channel about the 29th of August that I was going to do it, I think, and that's when I'd had the idea. And in it, I place a length of fabric, a pattern, the notions that I need for the pattern, and a little treat for me because well, you've got to have a little treat, haven't you? And then I was going to share it with you on the 15th. So every month I'm going to try and do this, and on the 15th I will be sharing it with you, and that is just what I'm doing now. So I'm going to open the box. What a surprise this is going to be for me. And in it I would like to show you me going through my blue phase, which is also why I wore this dress. I bought this fabric from Fabrics at Fleetwood only a few weeks ago, and I got the thread for it, and I have some needles that I've put in for it. This is my special tea bag that I like, a 3 chamomile tea bag, not just the ordinary run-of-the-mill chamomile, you know, a pucker 3 chamomile tea bag, and my favourite naked bar because I don't eat chocolate very often. And I also had a thread. I also made a spool for the thread even. And the pattern, I had already decided on this pattern before I saw a video by Rachael, and then by Sam, and then by Catherine, who are Rachael at the French Seams, Sam at Solex Sparkle with Sam, Catherine, who is Soverton Makery, have come up with the challenge, which is to help a garment that you made in the past that you now feel better about creating it again, or giving yourself the chance to create it again and let it rise from the ashes. And so it is So Phoenix, as the phoenix rises from the ashes, hashtag So Phoenix 25, So Phoenix 25, I think. And you have to have your makes done by the end of September, and you place them on Instagram and you tag in those 3 people that I've just said, and you have to, under the hashtag of whatever I just said. But I'm not part of the official vlogger tour, so I don't have to be so prepared that I need to know what it is. I'll write it on the screen. I did mention it last week, I think, that I was thinking of doing something, but before I had seen Rachel's video, that's where I'm going back to, of being able to do this or suggesting to do this, I had already chosen this pattern. Now this is a pattern, it is the Davenport dress from Friday Pattern Company, and I did make one, and I go on and on at length in a number of videos where it cost me £62 because I used art gallery fabrics, and it was my first time sewing with although it said it was a viscose rayon, it's very voile-like, very delicate fabric, and I watched a number of videos how to sew with that, and and then I actually was really proud of being able to make it and put it together and have by then the skills to be able to do that. Some of you know I've been sewing. I sewed years and years ago, but then I had a massive break where I didn't sew at all. When I came back around 2020, I was just following videos all over the place about changing presser feet, and I'd never seen walking feet or anything. I'd never seen PDFs. I didn't know about having them printed. I didn't know about sticking them together, all that stuff. So when I'd accomplished what I accomplished, I was really pleased. But the finished garments did not live up to my expectations. That is not to do with the pattern. It's just a personal thing. And the fabric I had just wasn't quite the right green. I'll show you what I had. So prepared was I? I'd already put it away. Okay, so I will pop some pictures in of me wearing it. And it's the only thing that my sister has ever said, only from looking at the picture, "Oh, Susan, you look frumpy." And that's exactly how I felt in it. And it just was not me at all. And partly that was because this fabric was just not me. Now, I quite like the fabric. And when I sent for it, I thought it was a brighter jadey green, but it wasn't. And also, it felt mumsy on me. And also, as I put it together, I did put the pockets in. Now, I followed lots of instructions about how not to get a baggy pocket, and I'm sure you'll understand what I mean by that. And yet, I did get a very baggy pocket, and I really did not like it. The pocket is part of your front piece. Whoops. Alison at So Like Dotty has made it, and she really liked hers, and she made it with 2 backs. So if you measure the front plus the pocket, this is a really good example of why this fabric wasn't right for me at that time. I'm not saying it wasn't right for the dress, the type of fabric. It wasn't right for me. On there, that was the pocket on the side. I'll just put it up here, but it would go from the waist downwards, obviously. And then you add a casing strip on here, and then sew this with the casing strip onto the bodice. And then through that you then create a channel which you put a tie through, which in itself was fine. But when I did that, it was just awful. I just really did not suit it. And that is the top. But this is with a very structured fabric. You can use a very unstructured fabric. There are lots of options for it. And on the pattern, there's lots of talk about this sleeve. This comes down to me, that's a 3/4. It's not a bracelet, it's a 3/4 sleeve. I added to the sleeve. I made the full length sleeve. And it always felt like it was just twisted or a bit tight. So what I want to do is make this again. Why, Susan? It's crazy. Why would you do that? Well, I want to either make it very waisted, because I thought it was more that it was waisted, and I'm not one for wanting waisted things normally. But then I have been converted, because I have made this 2016 ME2016. And this, if it is nothing else, it is a waisted skirt. Some of it comes a little bit above the waist, and then these at the hips, it is waisted. I'll pop a picture in of that, and that does suit me. But what I didn't like were the gathers that you get with tying the belt, tying the thing, and that then pulled over my bust, which was a bit bigger then, and it just wasn't right. And also the neck, the height of the neck, I thought that would be too high on me and a bit uncomfortable. So I decided to let the elastic be looser on my neck. And you'll see if you see the pictures or the video of it, that helps to make it look frumpy, I think. And so that was my fault. And the elastic I chose, what you do need is, I think it's 3/8. I didn't have 3/8 of an inch, I had 1/2 an inch. And so it was just a bit tight, a bit bulky, a bit it stayed in place. It wasn't quite right. And I would like to give this another crack, because I think there is potential in it. I really love doing the burrito method. I'd never done that before, and I was really pleased. And I thank Chelsea very much for that. That helped me. I remember laying it out and doing it as her sew along, and I had that on, keep pressing it and repeating for all of the sew along. I do enjoy doing her patterns with the sew alongs. But when she started making it, I thought she was making a dress for a child. It was so small, the skirt was so small, and I thought, well, that can't be what this is like. But actually, that's how it kind of turned out, that this bit was quite small. And although I either lengthened the skirt or I lengthened the frill, I didn't have much fabric left, or it was a bit of a squeeze, because also it's a one-way up design and it's quite a big repeat, so I'm really fussy about that. I don't want to match it, for goodness sake, but you've got to have it on some level of similarness, rather than joining all the different pieces up. I have been thinking about it and wondering, now that I've been all right with that other dress, would I be all right with the waisted one now? Because I also have lost some weight, so maybe that's an issue as well. With this, I definitely have enough, and there's no one-way design about it. I can join pieces and whatever, and I think I have 3 meters of, and I've got this blue phase going on. So I was I'll say naughty, but at the end of May, I'd done all Me Made May, and I was in the Freeport Centre in Fleetwood, which is just an outlet place, and I thought I'll just nip into Roman, which is just, really, it's a cheap import place, really. And I say upper step, trashy fashion if you like, and you don't know how things were made, and you don't know, and I usually stay clear of things like that, but I thought I will try that dress on I've seen, and I wonder, does that suit me, and would I recreate it? And I tried it on, and it felt amazing. And I walked about in the shop with it, trying to find the jacket, which I'll just pop in and show you. No, I won't. It seems that I've taken that downstairs as well. I was so prepared, you know. Or maybe it was because I really thought this was going to be a surprise, and I'd forgotten about it being in blue. Yeah, so it's a really good blue on me. And I thought, I started looking for other blue things. And this is how I came up with this one. And I did buy the dress and the jacket, and then have forever wished I hadn't bought the dress, because it suits me and I feel really lovely in it, but it's not functionally right. If I move my arms, it pulls across here. I've had to shorten it, but that's just because it's long. And but where it has a binding down the front with little button loops, and they're pulling, and it's taken me all my time not to take off the binding, press it, take all the buttons off, and then rebind it, because that's just how I am. I mean, that's why I make my own clothes, isn't it? When that's what we come down to, really. We make our clothes so that we can have them just how we want them. And to have it all a bit pulled up is a bit of a nuisance. But anyway, I bought it, and it started me off on this blue phase. So I'm grateful for the blue phase, because it does lift me. So yeah, I want to get on with that, because this being the 15th, I've only got 15 days to make it and to have it on Instagram if I finish it, and if I do decide to make it, and I'm fairly certain that I am going to make it. Put the elastic in for it, got the right size this time, and I do like the construction, and I want to make a larger size just on the back along here, so that it's not pulling on the sleeve isn't pulling. I'm grateful to Rachael and to Sam and to Catherine for kind of cementing me in my ideas to get on with it. And I think it should be nice in the Davenport dress. And then I watched Rachel's video, and I thought, that's killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm really pleased about that, and I am going to start that, although that does jump the queue from what I'd said on my last Friday sews, which was I want to do this one next, which is in the queue for being an orage dress. And yes, I'm really pleased about that idea. And so these two will be nudging each other out of the way, the Davenport and the orage, to get done soon. But if I don't do any of them by the end of September, I'm not really bothered. But it would be nice to know that I've made a new start on the Davenport, and I feel happy in it. So thank you ever so much for watching. I hope that's made sense. I hope you'll come back. If you did like my video, please do give us me a like and a subscribe. It's really lovely of you to be watching me still. I've been doing this almost 5 years now, and I'm just in this little backwater of being 72 and sewing by the seaside, and I really appreciate you being there. So thanks ever so much. Bye for now. Susan at Seaside Stitches signing off.